Woken parents, don't do this. So lots of people join our classes or inquire about our classes at Fight and Finish Judo for many reasons. Sometimes their kids need a bit more confidence, a bit more courage. Maybe they're being bullied, maybe they're a bit anxious going back to school. So the issues that we try and help children with are quite difficult ones, and they take a lot of work. But what happens fairly frequently within our classes and within our programs is that parents come to us to help their child. They come onto our programs, we start to work with them in terms of developing the skills. But actually what happens, a month in, 2 months in, once they get past the initial excitement, is the child realizes actually to develop these skills, it takes some hard work, it takes some perseverance. They actually have to start working on their black belt focus. They actually have to sit in their listening posture and start taking some accountability within the class as well. They can't just mess around all the time. And what then happens is they say to their parents that actually they're not enjoying it anymore. Well, they're not going to enjoy it as much as when they first started out. And the reason for that is because for us to change, for us to develop as humans, it takes a lot of hard work for us to be able to do that. So what then happens is they say to their parents that they're not enjoying it as much and they want to, try something else. And, actually, this is possibly the worst thing you could do as a parent to support your child, for them to develop the resilience, that can-do attitude, is allow them just to sort of fleet from one thing to another. If we want to make a serious change, if we want to develop our children, we've got to help them at that point to keep turning up, because once they get past that, once they start to develop these skills, actually then they start taking in all the other aspects of the judo that can really, really support them and grow into happy, healthy, confident adults. So my biggest advice as a parent is to try and stick with it. Help them understand. Talk about what was one thing they enjoyed, what was one thing they found challenging, because challenge is important. Challenging isn't a bad word. It's really, really important. If we think about any of the things that we want to achieve in life, without a challenge, we're going to really, really struggle. So please don't do that. When you're looking at our programs, think about how those programs will help your child in 6 months' time, a year's time, 10 years' time, when they're applying for universities and colleges, when they're applying for their jobs. Really think about that long-term gain for your child.